What's going on, guys? What's going on, Tide Squad? What's going on, everybody? So, who is the best player? The best player, is it Niecy Coiler or AJ Wilson? If you had to ask me, I would say it would be both players that are great because there's a lot of good players in the W. These W players, these WNBA players can ball. And I'm just going to say this, that Coiler put her team in the championship last year. If the Lynx don't make it to the championship last year with Coiler with Coiler on the roster, I don't know what we could say. Coiler is a good player. Niecy Coiler is a good player. And I'm going to say this, is that if I had to pick, like, who was the best Minnesota Lynx player in the W, it would have to be between Coiler and Maya Moore. That is my assumption, because when we say, like, who's the best player between AJ Wilson and Coiler, we're going to have to say these two are probably going to be the ones talked about the entire year. Because when we look at it, we could say Coiler got her team to the championship last year. Aja got bounced out by the New York Link by the New York Liberty. I would say that for Aja is a good player. Aja has 3 MVPs, has a gold medal. When we look at how both of these players play and both of these styles of the players, and every player in the W, like Brianna Stewart, like Caitlin Clark, like Angel Reese, they need more respect. The WNBA needs more respect. And that is what some aren't giving. Some aren't giving the WNBA respect. That is what they're not giving. They're not giving the WNBA much respect for how their players play or how they ball. We could say that ever since the first game, and ever since that first game got out of hand between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, I'm just going to bring this up because I know I'm getting off topic for a second. If we could bring that up, we could honestly say that some has their opinions. Some has their opinions, and some are hating on the W. Some are going to hate. If you don't have nothing nice to say about anybody, leave them alone. Just leave them alone. But for Culver and Aja, I think it's going to be probably these two are probably going to be talked about because the Lynx got to a championship appearance last year. The Aces won back-to-back championships. We could all say that this could be probably like a current thing where we see Coiler, where we see probably Caitlyn, where we see probably Angel Reese, Aja, just be in this conversation. But when we say who's the best player in the W, people are going to point out at Caitlin Clark. People are going to point out at Angel Reese. People are going to point out at Coiler, Aja, Brianna Stewart. They are going to point out those favorite players and people that watched the WNBA before them, like Sue Bird. People that watched the W before them, like when Sue Bird played, when Taurasi played, when Maya Moore played, when Candace Parker played, when Lisa Leslie played. People are going to point out those were the great players. We could also say every player that are in the league right now, it's balling. Because when we look at this, we could say, well, these two would have to be in the GOAT conversation. These two players would have to be in the conversation as well. And let's not get wrong about that. Let's not be wrong about a certain point where WNBA players can ball. Okay, let's not get a certain point out that they can ball. Let's not get. We can all say that probably if we were talking about probably like somebody in the NBA like Steph, like LeBron, or Jordan, or Magic, people would have conversations about that, but we just don't have these conversations about the WNBA. When we see like players like Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, these type of players come into the W. Aja Wilson, that's already in the W. These players can ball. Just let them ball. And I'm going to keep talking about the W. I'm going to keep talking about how these players are balling, how they ball out, how these WNBA players need more respect for what they do. Because if you don't give nobody their flowers or their respect for what they do, you're just hating. And like I said before, people are going to hate. Some are going to hate. And between these two players, like, you can say Aja's the best player. No, Carter's the best player. You could say that. But we have to look at the players before them, like like a like a Maya Moore, like a Lisa Leslie, like a Sue Bird, like a Tarashi. We have to start looking at that. And there should be like a GOAT conversation as well for who these how these players play. Because we're not having GOAT conversations about the W, who's the best player. We need to start having that because when we see these players ball, when we see them hit easy money buckets, get easy layups, like we really have to give the WNBA more credit where its credit's due. Because at the end of the day, we could all say that the W has been around a very long time. Like, they added 13 new teams. They have players like Caitlin Clark, Coiler, Aja Wilson, Brianna Stewart, Jackie Young, um, Joy Loyce, Paige now, Haley Van. They got players in the W now that can ball, and players that are in their second year, like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese is balling. What else can you say there? Because at the end of the day, these players deserve the effect for for what they need to get. These players are balling. We saw how last year when the Liberty won the championship, how much that meant to the Liberty. And I know I'm getting off topic again here. But when we see players like Coiler having a good season so far, and when we see Aja Wilson having a good season so far, this is what we need to talk about. Is how does these two players that put their teams in the playoffs last year, and now who's the best player? I definitely think, in my opinion, they're both the best player. They're both good basketball players. They're both good WNBA basketball players. They can shoot the rock. We seen Aja win free MVPs now. We seen Coiler get to the championship. Aja won 2 championships. When we see these players in the WNBA, NBA, NFL, lead the game like a Patrick Mahomes, like a LeBron James, like a Aja Wilson, in their sport, Sue Bird, Candace Parker. When we see these great players lead the game, we're going to miss them. We're exactly going to miss them. And for some that are hating on the WNBA for how the first game went, or for saying, well, the WNBA isn't the same. It's the same. Hello, it's basketball, except you got WNBA players playing in it. You got WNBA players playing in it. It is the same. It's still basketball at the end of the day. These WNBA players are hitting easy money buckets, are getting easy money rebounds. At the end of the day, this is still basketball. This is still a basketball topic. We don't have basketball conversations like who's the best player. We have certain conversations when the NBA season starts back up about who's the best player. We don't have certain conversations right now for the WNBA because some are sleeping, some are hating. Stop. If you don't have nothing nice to say about anything, don't say it at all. But these two players, I think, are going to be the most talked about, just like Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are going to be the most talked about as well. Coiler, Aja, Caitlin Clark, and Angel, and probably Paige are going to be the most talked about players this year in the W. But guys, so if you're new and never give up your dreams, and I hope all of you guys are safe out there, and stay blessed, everybody, and peace.